Here we go then, this is it, the final season. We are into season 6. We're going to have a go at retaining our La Liga title. And to kick us off in season 6, as always, we're going to look at all of the transfer activities that happened in the 6th season. Firstly, the players that have left the club, then we'll go through the players that have arrived. Well, in fairness, once again, there is only one player that has left the club. He's on screen. It's Arcait's Marieth Carena, and he's a player that we signed in the very first season. He's developed pretty much as I think he can. He's turned out to be a 2.5-star player against our squad, and he's still a decent looking player. It's just that we have now evolved past him. We just allowed him to leave. I think it was for about £1 million. It was nothing significant. We already had £21 million in the transfer budget. We just added that £1 million to it, so we could go out and try and just put those final touches to the team to defend La Liga and hopefully try and do better in the Champions League. So the players that we went and bought, the first one back to Barcelona, we bought Marc Bernal. He's another midfield maestro who come through the La Masia Academy in Barcelona. Another one who can pass the ball. He's got vision, he's got work rate, he's got technique, he's got pretty much everything you would want, and he did cost us £20 million outright. It was a deal that I just could not turn down. I had to go and buy him because he just showed up as being fantastic and fits in perfectly in the midfield three that we have. The next player to come in was Rodrigue Camdem. Now, he only cost £700,000 and he was from Celta Vigo. The only thing that is obvious here is it says that he plays for Cameroon. However, as you can see, his second nationality is Spanish, and since he signed for us, he decided to switch to Cameroonian nationality. So not a big negative, but he's a player that is for the future, and even though we're in the final season, I couldn't turn down that one final chance at trying to build a player and see where they go. 21 years old, he has good pace, acceleration, dribbling, heading, technique. He was a player that came in on a scouting report, and we thought we'll pick him up and give him a bit of game time and see what he's about. And the final player to come in on the save, even though I haven't got it ready, is Ariel. He's a player that comes to us from Real Madrid's Castilla. He has tackling, he has pace, he has acceleration, he can play as a left back, can play as a centre back. He's a player that is just a rotation piece because we needed numbers, and I do think that if we were to go further in, he probably has a bit more developing to do, but it was just one of those where we needed cover at left back, we needed cover at centre back, and he fits in well with what we were doing. So that is the final transfer of the save. The big question is, as always, how did we get on in the final season? Now, normally I'd ask, was it money well spent? But this time around, the question is, could we defend La Liga? Could we do better in the Champions League? Can we get past the 4th round of the Copa del Rey? Sadly, the answer to most of those questions would be no. Unfortunately, as you can see, we got so close to defending our title. We gave it such a good go, but we would fall at the final hurdle, finishing 1 point behind Real Madrid. We're the only 2 teams in the 90-point bracket, and unfortunately, we would miss out on the championship by 1 single point. In the Champions League, though, we would make progress. We would get through to the quarterfinals, losing to Bayer Leverkusen. In the Copa del Rey, we would finally get past the 4th round, but still lose to Granada in the quarterfinals. And in the Super Copa de España, once again, we would finish as runners-up, this time only losing on penalties to Real Madrid and not getting embarrassed 6-1. If we look at the Champions League then and see how we have got on through there, in terms of the league phase, we would finish in 20th place, playing 8 games. We would win 3 of them against Shakhtar, Napoli and Crvena Zvezda. We would draw 2 against Atletico Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain and lose 3 against Juventus, Bayern Munich and Fiorentina. We would finish with a duck egg of 0 for goal difference and finish on 11 points. That was enough, though, to take us through into the knockout playoff round. We would be drawn against PSV and we'd beat them 3-2 over 2 legs. Then in the round of 16, we'd come up against Bayer Leverkusen, and we gave it our best shot, but would go down 5-4 over 2 legs. So back to La Liga then, and let's break this one down. This time we would win 31 of 38 games. We would draw twice, once against Real Madrid, once against Barcelona, and we would lose 5 times against Barcelona, Villarreal, Valencia, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. We'd have a goal difference of 53 and finish on 95 points. As I said, a single point behind Real Madrid, and if you remember last season we needed 101 points to beat them. This season we just could not match those heights. In terms of player stats, Iker Villa being absolutely insane, 33 goals. He got a 7.43 average rating. Akamatch with 15 assists. Villar got 8 Player of the Match awards, and Danny Martin kept 17 clean sheets. We look at the squad to see how it has all been shared around. So Villar played 50 games and scored 46 goals in all competitions with 9 assists. Akamatch with 16 goals and 20 assists. Every single season now he's chipping in with 20 or more assists. Ramzani got 10 goals and 6 assists. Arribas got 9 goals and 10 assists. Further on down we had Bernal with 7 goals and 9 assists. And even further down than that, Sotelo finally coming out of the double digits, 2 goals and 6 assists. So a fantastic way to end the save. We gave it our everything, finished second in the league, quarterfinals of the Champions League, quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey, and finished runners up once again in the Supercopa de España. If we were to keep going into another season, this is what the board's finances now look like. So there's £91 million in the overall balance. The transfer budget would be £29 million and the wage budget would be £1.2 million. So there is massive progress in terms of the amount of money at the club. In terms of the club vision for the next season, our job security would just still be secure. They would still want us to work within the wage budget and be competitive in the Champions League and qualify for the Champions League. They give us a B for our overall performance across the season, and they still want us to make the most of set pieces, play entertaining football, play high tempo pressing football and play attacking football. In the highlights, delighted with the financial aspects of the Amika Yusuf signing. He was a player who was a youth intake player but didn't get offered a contract, and then we signed him on a cheaper contract than what they tried to. So yep, happy with that. Pleased with the 5-1 dismantling of Alaves, and pleased with the level of support in the squad. Disappointed about going out by Leverkusen, and disappointed about the 3-0 loss to Barcelona. In terms of the supporters, we get a B there. Play attacking football, play entertaining football, play high tempo pressing football, make the most of set pieces. Now they're pleased with the 5-1 dismantling of Alaves. Congratulations on winning Spanish League Manager of the Year. Thank you very much. Delighted with Largi Ramzani's recent performances. They're disappointed though about the Leverkusen defeat, disappointed about the 3-0 defeat against Barcelona, and disappointed with Pau Prim's recent performances, which is a shame because I really bigged him up as a player. So overall, I think the board have been very supportive. I did think that we would go out a little bit better. I wanted better than just secure. B in the final season is good, and I will take that. One final look at the squad then, doing that in the usual 2 ways. I'm going to start off with my best 11 that I would have carried forward to the next season. We'll then have a look at the assistant manager's best 11 too. And I'll have a look at some of the stats of the players whilst we go as well. So I would have gone with Martin. Centelle's finally getting in at left back because Gaskiorowski's performances just dropped off dramatically. Keiki, Francis and Casado would finish as a right back, which just shows his versatility. Then we'd go with Sotelo, Bernal and Prim. Ramazani, Akamatch and Villar up top. So once again, those 3 at the top of the pitch, absolutely untouchable. If we have a little look at some of the performances, Villar is going to end the save. When he joined us here in 24-25, look at the amount of goals he has scored. 12, 19, 27, 26, 33. He has a career stat line of 197 games, 123 goals. He's been absolutely insane for the club. Ramazani, he's another one. It's been getting better and better year on year. So obviously joined on a free from Manchester United back in 2021. But in terms of our playing, 11 goals, 10 goals, 10 goals, 6 goals, 19 goals in the 27-28 season was fantastic. But look at the average rating, season in, season out, hitting 7s. Then Akamatch, after he came from Villarreal, If we look at his career stats, so 12.5 million it was to get him. 31 games, 7 goals and 3 assists, and since then 13 and 15, 12 and 9, 10 and 15. And if we look across the final season, as you can see down here, 48 total appearances, 16 goals and 20 assists. He has been fantastic. Sotelo, Bernal and Prim. So Prim's pretty much a new arrival. Bernal, in terms of what he has brought, 33 appearances, 6 goals, 8 assists. Sotelo has been fantastic too. As I said, he was one that I actually missed off when I was talking about his transfer, but another player that has played consistently well. And then the back four there as always. If we look into the best 11 according to the assistant manager then, so Danny Martin, Centelles, Edgar, Keiki and Francis, Pau Prim, Bernal, Casado, Ramzani, Akamach and Villar. So front three are the front three. Midfield, Casado, I'd got right back. He'd overtaken Xavi Grand just because of his versatility, but he can also play in the middle, as you can see. And then the back four is pretty much the same apart from Francis and Danny Martin. So finishing up, it's been absolutely fantastic to see this team grow. A lot of them are now slotted straight in and have been there for multiple seasons, and you've really watched them develop as the players have moved forward in the structure of the team. So the last thing to check up then is the history of the club. Let's go to the overview and show you the three, taking credit for something I didn't do, two trophies that we have won. We did finish runner-up a couple of times in the Super Cup, but they had already won this trophy here. However, we have added on the La Liga EA Sports. We won La Liga in 2028. We have also won the Copa del Rey, and year on year we have grown the club and moved it forwards. And I think this is an absolutely fantastic project. To do it through the youth route as well as doing it with the worst team statistically in the Liga in December of 2023 was fantastic enough. But to see the team grow, and then as you can see here, we have gone from pretty much getting promoted, and then they finished 17th, and we up to 7th, 5th, 2nd, back to 4th to win the league, and then in this final season to finish in 2nd place on 95 points. We have done absolutely fantastically. It's been such a pleasure to manage Almeria. If you want to have a go at this, I really recommend the club. You will struggle with finances initially. You'll need to sell your best players. If you want to go down the youth route, there are plenty of Spanish wonder kids that you can go and sign, but this one has been fantastic. If you're still with me at this point of the video, you've enjoyed the series, please don't forget to like the video, and there will be the extended play coming out, so you can like that video too. Subscribe to the channel, there will be plenty more of this type of series coming out across the year, and if you like them, hitting the subscribe button is the best way to keep up to date with all of them. Before you go, don't forget to check out the rest of the channel. There are other series I've already done. There are hints, tips, tutorials, wonder kids, something for everybody on the channel. But for this one, I'm going to say thank you for watching. I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully I'll see you on another video very soon.